All right, thank you for joining. Today we will go over Solana USDT on the Binance chart. And right now we're looking at the monthly time frame. As we can see, it's been extremely bearish, right? For the past 4 to 5 months. This month is a little bit different so far, but it's only been 1 or 2 days where we've created a wick already and we're starting to push up a little bit. But in my opinion, we're more than likely going to take out those lows. There's going to be a ton of liquidity resting right below those lows, so it might take a little bit of time. Price might push up to 118.30 before coming down and taking out these lows. Now after those lows are taken, that's when I would be a little bit more interested in taking a long trade, right? You can see how close price got to those lows, right? Price came, what was that low? 95.95. This is 95.26. So clearly engineered low. I'm expecting Solana to move up a little bit, 117, 118, come back down, take out those lows, and then be interested in a long trade. All right, I haven't gone over Solana in quite some time, but when you start to look at it from the perspective of the previous bear market lows to the current bull market highs, we are currently trading in a discount of that entire range, right? But the best buying opportunity, I think, will come in at around $79.20. That's my main target for now. And then once we get down to that level, we will see how price reacts from this, you could call it a supply level, a weekly bullish order block, whatever you want to call it. We want to see exactly what price does at that level, right? Because I think that will be an interesting area to then look for another long. Actually, I'd like this area better than here. This just looks like they're engineering some liquidity, get a big stop loss run right here, right into this supply zone or demand zone before pushing up a little bit higher. How high would it go? You know, I'd probably target the 150. That would make sense. Liquidity sitting up there. That's the closest weekly swing high after taking out this swing low. And once it takes out that high, we just have to see what price does. You know, if price looks bearish again, then of course the next best thing to do would be to look to enter a short trade based on the reaction at these levels, right? If we start making lower lows, lower highs, then you probably want to go short, or I'll probably want to go short, right? Maybe we hit the golden pocket, maybe we hit the nav, which is the 786 and 0.75 fib zone. Take that trade back down to these levels, $80, which could be a nice little trade because we are currently definitely in a bear market. A lot of people are in denial and they don't want to believe it, but based on the monetary cycle, Bitcoin having 4-year cycles, it's pretty much what we're looking at here, right? Looks extremely similar to what happened over here. We're seeing it seems to be getting the same kind of pattern, just a bigger, longer pattern playing out here, right? So Solana, like I said, 80 is my favorite target to enter long, but based off the reaction at this level, doesn't mean I would not long. I would still long at this level because this is a very key support. And then I'll still be expecting price to move lower though. So even if we do get a long here, I would probably just take it up to the nav or the 50% of that swing level, which is around 118, 119, like I mentioned before. And that's where I'll start to look for shorts, maybe even the golden pocket, which obviously if this is a weekly swing high right above the golden pocket, if we go down to lower time frames, you'll see where that starts to turn into a possible nice area to grab some liquidity above that weekly high before coming back down, right? So that's definitely an area I am interested in. I'm going to go ahead and set an alert right at that level, anticipating to go long if we get there, targeting the golden pocket at least, right? Little 3-to-1 trade could play out very nicely. But yeah, Solana is just bearish, right? Let's just be very straightforward here. It's just very bearish. The entire crypto market is very bearish. Go ahead and take a look at Bitcoin, right? Very bearish. Let's go ahead and look at this chart, even better. Very bearish. Solana, everything else, also very bearish. We are getting to a point though, we're around pretty big support levels. So a bounce is expected soon, but I would not be looking for a major bounce until, like I mentioned before, we start to trade below $95, sweep that liquidity, or at least get down to this $80 level, right? And that's pretty much it with Solana. Very straightforward. Pay attention to your trend lines. Maybe you're a trend line trader and you want to wait until some of these levels or that trend line's broken first. In my opinion, it just kind of lines up with possibly going short again if we get pretty bearish around these levels, right? But yeah, thank you for joining. That's pretty much it with Solana. Looking to go long after we take out $95, or if we get down to $80 preferably. Until then, looking for a rise, and would possibly short at this 127 area or this 118 area, whichever level gives us the a bearish market structure shift, confirming weakness, targeting the lows. All right, that's pretty much it. Thank you for joining. Take care, and until next time.